Welcome all. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing our temper or our self-confidence. I wish you to do the same. And with this great intention, I would like to start my session. And I am very much happy about presenting a good lesson through this video. And there is no doubt it will be a new experience to you all. So let's get started. Happy. Her face expresses that she is happy. Angry. Sad. Afraid. Jealous. Sad, angry, afraid, jealous, happy. The feelings of the heart is expressed in our face. That is what the famous proverb says. Face is the index of the mind. Our feelings can be expressed in a way of smiling also. Of course, once people used to laugh with the heart. They show their expression on their face or show the feelings coming from the heart. But now, how do they react? How do they show their expression? That is what the poem we are going to see here. Once upon a time. Students, I don't tell you a story. You would think fairy tales for the children begin with the phrase once upon a time. But here, this phrase once upon a time is the title of the poem written by Gabriel Okara. In this poem, a father addresses his son. It is written in monologue. The son doesn't reply anything to his father, but the father expresses his feelings towards his son. The title clearly indicates about the past. I associate that a fairy tale may be in a poetic form. Here, once upon a time suggests how people were once. It is far from what is being witnessed in the society now. That is what the poem. Okay, before we get into the poem in detail, let us know the poet. This is Gabriel Okara. Gabriel Okara is a Nigerian poet and a novelist. He was born in Nigeria in April 1921. His verse has been translated into several languages. His poem, The Call of the River Nun, won the Best Award for Literature at the Nigerian Festival of Arts in 1953. Okara may be described as highly original and uninfluenced by other poets. He has been extremely successful in capturing the moods, sights, and sounds of Africa. His poems show great sensitivity, perceptive judgments, and a tremendous energy. Okara also shows a concern regarding what happens when the ancient culture of Africa is faced with Western culture. Alright, let us know the structure and form of the poem. This poem has been written in first person and written in free verse with irregular stanza and lack of rhyme. Could mimic the speaker's distress and struggle. His mind is incoherent as a result of the corruption surround him. And poetic. This poem seems natural and conversational. The audience is his young son. So the style of writing must be accessible and the message is clear and simple. The structure of the poem makes it seem like he's actually talking to his child. Okay, let us know the theme of the poem. Childhood. The child in the poem is a symbol of innocence, purity, enthusiasm, happiness, and genuineness lacking in society. The child represents a group of people who have not been affected or spoiled by Western culture and abhorred by their own cultures. Racism. The Western culture, language, and way of life made a huge impact on the people of Africa. This self-proclaimed superiority left with the British colonizer feeling that they were better than everybody was and all other cultures were loyal to their own. So that's what the theme of the poem. Let us see the poetic lines of the poem Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes. But now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes, surge behind my shadow. Laugh with their teeth, which means to fake a laugh. Laugh without associated emotions. And this phrase, eyes block cold eyes, which means eyes lacking a feeling of warmth or enduring expression. Surge behind my shadow, which means people are hypocritical and they don't mean what they say. In the first stanza, the poet says, once upon a time is a phrase used in fairy tales. Maybe the poet thinks that expecting sincerity in people's action is like a fairy tale, which is not real. As I said in the beginning, people used to laugh with the hearts. They show their expression on their face with wholeheartedly. But over the years, people change their characters, their attitudes, which means they don't laugh with the hearts. They laugh only their teeth. Second stanza. There was a time indeed. They used to shake hands with the hearts. But that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hands search my empty pockets. While their left hands search my empty pockets, which means evaluating the narrator's worth and the power or calculating how he could be exploited. In the second stanza, the poet uses the words hearts and faces to refer to emotion. He says that people in the past showed emotions on their faces coming from the heart when shaking hands or laughing. It is true that we can see emotion in one's eyes. Third stanza. Feel at home. Come again, they say. And when I come again and feel at home once, twice, there will be no thrice. For then I find doors shut on me. The poet says in the third stanza that people these days are not sincere. When they say feel at home and come again, they do not really expect others to go there. The poet indicates if someone calls us to visit their house, they would welcome us for the first time or the second time also. But when we visit for the third time, the doors will shut on us. That's what the poet says. These days, the people are not sincere when they say feel at home and come again. Fourth stanza. So I have learned many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses. Home face, office face, straight face, horse face, cocktail face, with all the confirming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. Yes, home face in the sense, when you have a guest at your home, you would have different kind of face at your home, at the situation. Office face, during your presence at your office, you would have different kind of face, that is called office face. Straight face, when you are among the people, there you would have different kind of face, and according to the situation you would have the face. Horse face, it would be there when or while hosting someone. Cocktail face, which means face showing mixed emotions. Confirming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. Here the poet says, wearing a standard, deceitful, artificial smile on all occasions. So in this stanza, the speaker tells us that he has learned to deal with this fake, insincere world by changing himself to one of those people. Like others, he too hides his real feelings. He says that he has learned to wear many faces like dresses. Just like people keep changing dresses to suit different occasions, the poet has learned to behave indifferently in different occasions, which means according to the occasions, according to the situation, people can change the faces. That's what the poet indicates through this stanza. And I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance. To say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. In the fifth stanza, the poet admits that he has learned to say what fits each situation instead of speaking the truth. He fakes his behavior when he feels like saying good riddance, he says goodbye. When he feels like saying good riddance, he says glad to meet you. Sixth stanza. But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Snake's bare fangs means teeth of a venomous snake used to inject poison. In this sixth stanza, here muting refers to changing all the time. It may also be like the poet has learned to behave in such a way that it mutes or silences his real feelings. He tells his son that he wants to get rid of this false laughing, showing only the teeth. The comparison of his laugh in the mirror to a snake's bare fangs brings out the fact that the smile is artificial and might be dangerous. The poet regrets his fake behavior and so expresses his desire to unlearn all those bad things and learn how to love sincerely. The last stanza of the poem. So show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. The poet asks son to show how to love sincerely, because children do not fake things. They show what they feel inside. Again, the phrase once upon a time reiterates the fact that he wants to what he used to be once. So this entire poem has clearly depicted that people over the year change their character. So we should not behave as like others. We should react what our inside says. We should laugh, we should smile, we should show all our feelings with heart in order to make others to do the same. So I hope and believe you understood this poem very well. Dear students, not only listening to the poem is our job, and also you have to read the poetic devices used in this poem. In this poem, the poet has used 4 different kinds of figures of speech, and they are metaphor, simile, oxymoron, and repetition. Finding all these figures of speech in these poetic lines is very easy. So to learn the figures of speech is also very important. So do it after watching this video. I hope you would have enjoyed it. I will meet you in the next video with a new topic. Thank you.